You've heard the brutal truths, that nobody cares about your excuses, that the world rewards execution, not intention, that motivation is a flaky little gremlin that disappears the moment you need it most. You've watched those videos, you've read those quotes, you've felt that jolt, that flash of raw, unfiltered clarity. This is it, you thought. This is the day everything changes. And then, nothing. The fire that burned so brightly for an hour turned into smoke by morning. You woke up, and the same old gravity of your habits pulled you right back down. Why? Why does the most brutal, honest truth feel so powerful in the moment and so useless the next day? I'll tell you why. Because I lived in that cycle for years. I was the king of starting tomorrow. I collected brutal truths like they were trophies, lining them up on my mental shelf, proud that I understood the game. But understanding the rules doesn't mean you're playing. It just means you're a well-informed spectator in the stadium of your own wasted potential. The problem isn't the truths. The truths are correct. The problem is that a truth isn't a tool. A diagnosis isn't a cure. Knowing you have to build a house is useless if no one ever gives you a hammer. This isn't another list of brutal truths to make you feel bad. This is the toolbox. These are the 7 unbreakable laws of self-discipline. They aren't suggestions, they aren't life hacks. They are the physics of human action. They work whether you feel like it or not. And the first law is the one that will save you from the tyranny of getting started. It's the law of inertia. An object at rest stays at rest. Your brain, that brilliant, lazy con artist I call the negotiator, knows this. It knows that the hardest part of any task is the activation energy required to begin. Go to the gym sounds like a monumental effort. Write that chapter feels like climbing a mountain. So the negotiator, in his infinite wisdom to conserve energy, says, "Nah, let's do that tomorrow. Let's scroll for a bit instead." You cannot win this fight head on. You have to cheat. The law of inertia means you don't focus on the mountain. You focus on the single, almost pathetic pebble at your feet. Your goal isn't to go to the gym. Your goal is to put on your running shoes and tie the laces. That's it. Your goal isn't to write for an hour. Your goal is to open the document and write one sentence. The sky was blue. Done. You have won. Because once an object is in motion, it tends to stay in motion. The hardest part is over. You've broken the seal of inaction with a move so small, so non-threatening, that the negotiator inside your head didn't even have time to open his mouth. But starting is only the first battle. To win the war, you need to understand where the real fight takes place. It's not inside your head, it's in your room. This is the law of architecture. Your environment will always defeat your willpower. Willpower is a finite resource. It's a muscle that gets tired. Your environment is a 24/7 force, constantly pushing you in one direction. You think you're fighting a battle against your laziness when you try not to check your phone first thing in the morning. You're not. You're fighting a battle against the architect who decided to place a dopamine casino right next to your pillow. You will lose that fight 9 times out of 10. The master of discipline isn't the one with the strongest willpower. He's the one who's engineered his world so that willpower is rarely needed. He doesn't place the phone by his bed. He doesn't keep junk food in his house. He doesn't sit on the couch to do his work. Stop trying to be a hero in a hostile environment. Be an architect. Design a world where the easy path is the right path. Once your world is designed for success, you have to protect what goes into your mind. This leads to the third and perhaps most ignored law in our modern age, the law of the empty glass. You wouldn't pour garbage into a glass and then drink it. So why do you do it to your mind for hours every single day? Every scroll through social media, every piece of outrage news, every toxic comment section you read, you're filling your glass with sludge. And then you wonder why you feel anxious, unfocused, and cynical. You wonder why you have no mental energy left for what truly matters. Your brain is a supercomputer running on the data you feed it. Garbage in, garbage out. This law isn't about becoming a monk. It's about a conscious diet. Unfollow people who make you feel like garbage. Replace 30 minutes of scrolling with 10 minutes of reading a book. Your future self is being built by the information you consume today. Stop poisoning the well you have to drink from tomorrow. These first 3 laws set the stage. They get you moving and protect your energy. But what happens when you fail? Because you will. This next law is what separates the amateur from the professional. It's the law of the chain. The rule is simple. Never miss twice. I was trying to quit sugar for the 10th time. On day 4, I broke down and ate a whole bar of chocolate. The old me, the amateur, would have called it a failure and ordered a pizza. The chain was broken. But I remembered the law. My very next meal was a boring chicken breast and broccoli. It wasn't about punishment. It was about telling my brain, the accident is over, we're back on the rails. That single decision was more important than the first 3 days combined. 1 bad day is an accident. 2 is the beginning of a new destructive habit. A single broken link can be repaired, but 2 in a row and the whole chain falls apart. This resilience is built on a fundamental understanding of discomfort, which is the 5th law, the law of price. Everything you want in life has a price. There are no discounts. The price of fitness is the burn in your muscles. The price of knowledge is the frustration of learning. The price of wealth is the risk and the long hours. The universe doesn't care if you think the price is fair. You have 2 choices. You can pay the price of discipline now, or you can pay the price of regret later. And the price of regret is 1,000 times heavier. But even if you master your environment and eat clean and never miss twice, all of it can still crumble. All of it means nothing if you fail to win the most important battle of all, a battle that happens not on your phone, not in the gym, but right here, in the mirror. This is the 6th law, the law of the mirror. The most toxic thing you can do for your discipline is to compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Social media has turned life into a highlight reel, and you're comparing your behind-the-scenes struggles to their curated perfection. It's a rigged game you will never win. The only competition that matters is the one in the mirror. Is the person you are today better than the person you were yesterday? Did you read 1 more page? Did you do 1 more rep? Did you resist 1 more urge? That's it. That's the only game worth playing. Win the war against yesterday's version of you. The rest is just noise. And finally, the law that ties it all together, the one that must become your mantra, the law of no compromise. Because that voice inside your head, the negotiator, he's back. He's the world's greatest deal maker. He'll whisper, just 5 more minutes. It's been a hard day. You deserve a break. We can start fresh on Monday. It's a sweet, reasonable voice, and it is the most dangerous enemy you will ever face. Discipline is not a negotiation. It is a command. It is a decision you made in a moment of clarity that you must honor in a moment of weakness. When the alarm goes off, you don't debate. You get up. When it's time to work, you don't check your email. You work. You must learn to treat the negotiator not as a partner, but as a saboteur. Shut him down. The plan is the plan. These aren't rules for a better week. These are the operating system for a new you. The person you want to become is not hiding behind a magical burst of motivation. They are on the other side of these laws. They are forged in the quiet, unglamorous moments of choosing the pebble over the mountain, the clean glass over the sludge, and the mirror over the crowd. The work is quiet, it's consistent, it's brutal, and it's waiting for you. Start now.